Now we have half of this thing. Let's go ahead and thicken it. So we'll go Features, Thicken, to make this surface into the thickness that we want. I'm going to make it 1/4 of an inch thick. And you can see that the outer side of this is, because we are arced at the top, the top edge arcs out or angles out, whereas the bottom is flat. So that's why we created this plane. We built beyond the plane, and then we can just trim it back. So let's go ahead and go to Cut with Surface, and that will let us choose our handle width as the surface. And then the arrow points to the side of the plane that will be cut off. And so right now it's cutting off the wrong side. We need to click this button here to flip it, and when we check the box, it will cut our solid right in half. And then I can use the fillet tool, and I want to use a full round fillet again. Choose that as my outer face, choose the side face as the purple face, and the inner face as the pink face. And it's going to do it. And there we have half of our handle. Now we can mirror that across if we want to, but I'm not going to do that just yet. There's one more piece to our handle we need to create. So let's go to the right plane, and I'm just going to go ahead and click on Extruded Boss Base, use the Line tool, look normal to our plane, just create the basic shape of this little boss that I have. And this is as complex as it needs to be, and I could go ahead and constrain it if I want to. I don't think it's that big of a deal in this case because we're not going to be changing anything, but I could take, for example, the metal band bottom, make this some distance from it, and I could constrain these points to be outside of the arc of the handle. But in this case, I'm just going to leave it as is to save time. And then it will automatically start the extrusion. And just pull it on out as much as we think is appropriate. And in this case, that's as far as we need to go. And we can go ahead and add any rounds that we might want. Like, I'll do a constant radius this time, which will allow me to choose this edge. I could make that, I don't know, 0.25 inches. Looks about right. And I could round this edge. This one's going to be, I don't know, 0.1 inches, maybe. And lastly, we could round this bottom edge and make that 0.05 inches. The one other thing I think we need to do is chop away the hole for our screw. So we can do Cut with Surface, choose our screw hole, and it looks like the arrow is pointing the correct direction, so we'll just check the box. I think that's going to cut it out just fine. We can hide this surface, and we are ready to continue. Hide that surface, show our glass carafe. I can mirror this handle body across the right plane. So for our mirror plane, we'll choose the right plane. Bodies to mirror. Choose our handle. Now we have a full handle, and we just need to chop it so that it is going to come right up to our glass carafe and no further. So Cut with Surface, use the glass carafe, flip the direction because the arrow was pointing the wrong way. Checkbox, and we're done. We can hide that. We might want for this to not quite touch the glass, just because visually it'll look a little bit nicer. So I can actually use, under the Insert menu, under Face, I can do a Move Face, which is a pretty handy tool. I'm going to set the Move Face to Offset, and then just choose these two faces here. And it's going to let me offset those faces, and I'm going to say Flip Direction, so it goes in rather than out. Say we want to go 0.01 inches. Or, yeah, that should be enough. So that's just moved our face back ever so slightly. We'll make it look just that little bit more realistic. And we can add a fillet if we want to, of maybe 0.01 as well. Just to tighten up those edges so that when we render them, we'll end up with this nice, tight little fillet there in the corner. So there is our handle. all finished up. We can hit close, click yes for save. Now we have a handle in our model. And we can go ahead and start adding the next part.